Hello, dear friends. What do we need to enter into this flow, the process of the quantum transition? Many people say that life is really changing a lot. Everything has changed. The nature is changing. A human being is changing. The social life of each person is changing. The worldview and world outlook of people are also changing. And it does not matter if people believe in this or not. This process concerns everyone. But as in any epoch, in any transient state, in a state of changing of ages, centuries, and states of life evolution, there are always ups and downs. The ups are for those who evolve, develop, and move with these times. The downs for those who refuse to accept a new state of life, who refuse to work on themselves, and refuse to be in accordant state with new vibrations of the world. So, my friends, we have been already told a lot about what the quantum transition is. And many people watched not only our broadcast, but also the broadcast of other people, teachers. Now there is a lot of information exactly about this process. And many people have already known about what is it. I won't repeat the same, but many of you ask, where should we start? What we need to do to get in rhythm with the quantum transition? How to make for the quantum leap? How to make for the quantum leap, the quantum transition will be helping me in my life. And why exactly in this time, while the quantum transition is going, there are so many difficulties, troubles, wars, destructions, and disasters of nature, and so on. Why are there so many problems in this seemingly bright time? And what should we do to escape these difficulties and problems? Today, I would like not only to give you advice and recommendation, but also I plan to work with you on the energy level. Why? Because I know for sure to move with this quantum transition and go on move further in life, it's necessary to raise the vibrations. In general, you need to get involved in the process of changing, the process of transformation, the transformation of yourself. As one of my students says, so it means that we should transform our temper. Yes, many of you should just transform your character, because many people have very difficult tempers that destroy them and the world around them. So, my friends, where should we start to get through the quantum transition with dignity and pass through it to create this world in this difficult and wonderful time? What to do in order to be healthy, happy, successful, and so on? First, each of you should become honest with yourself. Why? Because humans have dual nature, one nature of ego, matrix, entities or system, and another, the nature of the Creator, of the Supreme Mind, and human is created in likeness to it. And you also hear about it somewhere, but few of you know what this nature is, what state it creates within you, and what needs to be done to make this nature significant in your life, so that exactly this state controls the evolution of the entire planet. My friends, I will tell you such a secret, and perhaps it is not a secret for you. The quantum transition is happening precisely for this purpose, to reveal your true nature to you. But it could be revealed only for those who want it themselves. Therefore, the first advice and recommendation for those who want to worthily live through the quantum transition: become honest with yourself. Second, ask yourself how much you are satisfied with your life and your inner state. And really be extremely honest with yourself. Even if you have enough money, but you are not satisfied with the money and all that you own, It means you are ready for the quantum leap. You are ready for the quantum transition. You are ready to engage honestly in developing yourself. If you will answer yourself that you are satisfied with everything, and everything is fine, you think like, I can smoke, I can drink, I can take drugs, I can show my ignorance, rudeness, envy, hatred, and so on. I am king here, relative to minister. My friends, if you have such an inner state, it means that you are not ready to pass through the quantum leap. How it could end for you, and in general, how the life of such people usually ends. The difficulties, troubles, and diseases are waiting for them. Why? Because they reject the process of life itself. And in fact, it's not they reject life, but their egoistic systems, egoistic structures. They live in invisible egoistic forms that control the minds of such people. They conquered the human mind and now use the energy of the human mind and control completely the whole planet. You name them differently: entities, evil spirits, system, dark forces, the matrix. It's not important how you name it. This is a living entity, a program that influences and impacts the human mind. Namely, the mind, my friends, not the consciousness. Consciousness reacts at this state later. But first, your mental system, which is inside your brain, turns on to work and reads the information from this influences system and works according to the programs of this information. That's why many people answering this question, how much they are satisfied with their life, may not hear their own answer. They can hear the answer of the egoistic system, the answer of the matrix, when they can even find the excuses for their vices, ignorance, rudeness, envy, hatred, and even justify it all. But again, this would be not their words. The system will speak for them, the system under which they live. They sleep. Such people are called asleep. And the lives of such people are really in danger now more than ever. Few of such people will be able to worthily pass through the quantum transition. Few of these people will be able to worthily continue the evolution of this planet. But what to do for those who do understand what is happening on the planet, nevertheless understand all those changes, and want to understand this process even more deeply, and want to live on, and want to prosper further? My friends, such people need to understand and realize that they have asked themselves a very important question, a vital question, the question to be or not to be. And if they still want to be and pass through these difficulties, planetary challenges, they need to start very serious and responsible work on themselves. And the next question that needs to be asked to each such person is how seriously such a person should take himself and his life, how much he really wants to stop suffering, getting sick, and probably being tormented on this planet, and how much he is ready to do everything to avoid this in his life. And if you have asked yourself these questions and say inside yourself, I will do everything to get out of this circle of suffering, to help myself and my family and beloved people, if you have such an internal volitional decision, you are the man of the future. You will definitely find information. You will definitely find a teacher. You will definitely find understanding, and this understanding will be open for you. You will definitely be guided by more developed spiritual beings soaring on this planet. You will definitely receive help. You will be led to the true source of knowledge. Yes, perhaps it will be again through difficulties. It all depends solely on your own inner state. How developed are your intellect and your soul? It all depends only on this. And you will meet a teacher only due to this inner query. My friends, to go through the quantum transition and pass this challenging state of life, you need to become very strong-willed and sturdy as never before. Why? Since there is a law of free will, the right to choose, which by no means is violated by spiritually developed beings, but completely violated by the matrix, the system that controls humanity. Yes, my friends, they do not observe these laws, they rule their own laws, division and ruling, where they close a person from the true, truthful information that he needs for his evolution, development, fulfillment, and becoming. In order for a person to become better, become stronger, become more productive on this planet, and achieve a more perfect state of life. The Matrix does not want this, therefore it tries in every possible way to hinder you in your evolutionary development process. Many of you have already heard this, but not many can understand what it is about and how it harms each of you living now. So, my friends, to pass the quantum leap and keep up with the program of life, the evolutionary program of prosperity, creation, and improvement, you must give yourself the word to work and strive for. You have to learn, my friends. You need to develop yourselves, develop your own nature. I'm not just talking about intelligence right now. As a rule, the intellect is now controlled by the ego, and the ego imposes on a person certain understanding, dogmas, justifications, and so on. So for you to pass everything blissfully, you need to develop your inner state. And for this, I'll give you the following advice and recommendation. You need to understand and realize your own nature, who you are, what energies and states you are made of. Having understood this, you necessarily need to, without fail, learn to manage yourself. And ask yourself the next questions right now. How much do you manage to control your thoughts? How much do you manage to control your emotions and feelings? And how much do you manage to control the events of your life? Do you manage to do it? How fearless are you in your life? Do you go to work and are not afraid? Do you return from work and are not afraid? Are you not afraid that you will be fired, that you won't be needed by the new management? Are you not afraid that you may not be paid your salary and that you will not have something and you will not be able to buy something? So, my friends, all your fears are indicators that you are asleep and that the system controls you. This is exactly how it is. Of course, your system that controls your mind will find excuses for you, a bunch of excuses. But these excuses won't make your life any better. They will make your life even worse. Many of you can say, yes, I cannot do that. I have so many problems, so many difficulties, but I already have no time left to fix and change my life. I disagree with you. I disagree because in my work I see the exact opposite. I see, and very often people come to me who even stand on the edge of life and death. And when they make the right decisions in their lives and start everything in a new way, my friends, in a very short period of their life, they become younger, their years of life are extended, a new reality is unfolded for them, and they continue to live, but to live in a completely different state. Sometimes we joke with them, and of course we remember their first phrases which they said to themselves. Well, I won't have time, I have already experienced everything. I buried my husband, everything is already bad for me, I have no time to fix everything, Natalia Vladimirovna. What should I do? Can I do at least something? And when these people begin to live in a completely different state, and when they see the beauty and youth, and the beauty of their life, their own beauty, you know, it pleases. This is really good news. This is a victory, our victory, when we understand how great the strength of the human is. After all, when people come in such a state, they come under the influence of the matrix, under the influence and pressure of the programs that were imposed on them all their lives, when they did not even live their own lives. And when they realize that everything is not so bad, even in their condition, even in this case, no matter what, they still manage to change everything. This is a victory, friends. This makes me happy. And of course, such people are full of love, full of such inspiration. They go to others, they tell other people that everything can be changed, that everything can be completely different, and they shine with happiness. These are the people, my friends, who can survive the quantum leap with dignity. Why? It's simple. Working on themselves, working in sacred methods, in sacred mechanisms, they manage to defeat matrix programs. They have surpassed this. They have learned to manage their mind, their thoughts, their emotions, their lives, their health. In general, they managed, they succeed, and they shine with high vibrations to the whole world. Of course, the vibrations of their bodies, their cells, and their mitochondria are already in a completely different state, at a higher level. And these people are happy only because they succeeded. They were working, they were striving for it, and everything worked out. And when such people understand that the future is open to them, even if they are 70 years old, they realize that they can continue this evolution. This is happiness, my friends. We have already saved such people. We have already helped such people. Such people will no longer leave this process of working on themselves. But what should do those who are now in madness? What about those who feel it every day? And the percentage of crazy people is increasing every day. These are people who no longer understand anything and are torn apart by internal states that they cannot even explain. Sometimes they tell me, you know, something is pressing my throat. I am very painful. I can't even breathe because some force is pressing me. I cannot control my thoughts, an incessant stream of thoughts that I cannot stop. I suffer, it torments me, I cannot live like this, it hurts me here. I even want to leave this world, but I understand that after leaving this world, it will not become easier for me there. This is a disaster, my friends. There are more and more such people. More and more people write to us with such problems. I know what is it. I understand how the system works and to what state it has already brought humanity. My friends, this is a silent disaster right now that drives a huge number of people crazy. Who is doing this? The system, the matrix. Yes, it does not happen in an instant, in one day. You are being prepared for this, you are being deceived, you are taught to deceive and at the same time not to trust others. You are taught to use other people, you are taught not to hear yourself, and you are taught all the vices of this world. And when you plunge into these vices and no longer radiate high vibrations of the goodness, love, mercy, compassion, understanding, acceptance, joy in the victories of other people, you can no longer break free, get out of this system, because it completely controls your mind. Yes, friends, this is what leads a person to a state of madness. The matrix, the system that completely rules the minds of people. People are sleeping, and many will no longer be able to realize and wake up from this matrix dream. Yes, friends, it's all true. And of course, when you embark on the path of development and say, I don't want to live like this, I don't want to live to such a state, I want to go through all these processes in this quantum transition and rise to the level of evolution higher, it's not easy for you either, because you start a war with this system. Because when you finish your work, when you finish your courses, you meet with relatives who start gnawing at you. They still sleep, and the system continues to control them. And the system is very afraid that your relatives may wake up like you and may also be engaged in their evolution and their development. Therefore, everything is done. You are attacked, you are insulted, you are threatened, and I am also threatened. But all this is done not by people, it is all done by the system, the matrix, but through people. Yes, having possessed the human mind, human internal states, and sometimes even souls. Yes, friends, and there is such a thing on this planet. The system tries to completely rule humanity. And many people do not understand this and are not even ready to realize it in this life. The good thing is that your mind, or rather not your mind but your intellect, the intellect is given only once. In the next life, each person will have a different mind, but formed and based already on the programs that he had now. And of course, the social environment and other factors that influence the development of the human mind and formation from childhood, from birth, from conception will play a role. And there it will already be seen how much the mind will be able to serve and help you, to assist in the process of your evolutionary development. But I will return to advice and recommendations for those people who nevertheless want to disconnect themselves from this collective unconscious, from this managerial system that puts pressure on them. My friends, you must first of all be strong-willed and just understand everything that happens on the planet. Yes, you have to be strong, you have to be truthful, honest, and give yourself a word, not to deceive people and not to deceive yourself, because the matrix catches you in deception, hooks of deception. The second stage, and the matrix greatly aggravated this state on the entire planet, is the attachment to material things, to shops, to purchases, to the acquisition of something, the fear of losing something, the fear of not getting something. This is all the work of the matrix programs, thanks to which a person began to value material things very much. Although when his relatives leave this world, each of you thinks, he thought so much about the apartment, he thought so much about his property, about his wealth, but he left everything right on that day. And he left somewhere and left without anything. What did the man live for? What did he give his life energy to? Why did he work so hard just to buy everything and dream of buying everything? Now he left it all and left himself as naked as he came here into this world. Yes, friends, this is how it happens. But for some reason, the people left to live do not want to think about it, and maybe they should change something, so as not to end their path in the same way, and in the same way not to live naked, leaving everything. Maybe something needs to be changed, maybe even values need to be changed in life. And when you understand that, yes, it is the values that need to be changed, and you start working on yourself, my friends, your new reality begins. Then your life is just beginning. That's when you are just born. Then you just begin to follow the correct path of evolution, achievements, and victories in your life. You see, friends, many people come to us with the aim of buying everything, earning everything, making as much money as possible, and generally just solving their problems. But they are wrong. This is a wrong request. And as a rule, such people cannot achieve much. Well, they do something at the very beginning and then they get disappointed. Why? Because the request was originally wrong. Why? This is not how the request should be. People need to go to study with us with a request to evolve, have a desire to become better, have a desire to become higher, and have a desire to reveal their nature, the nature of the Creator. And then, when you reveal the nature of the Creator, you can create everything for yourself, absolutely everything. And there is no prohibition or refusal in anything and anywhere. Nobody limits you in anything. You get everything. But first, you need to develop yourself, your nature. Yes, you will say, well, we can steal, we can fraudulently earn money for ourselves and then buy everything. Well, yes, many people who work in different state structures do just that. But ask them questions. Do they sleep well? They are happy? Ask all millionaires, ask them these questions. And let them just answer honestly, because they can deceive you. Ask them, are you happy with these millions? Are you happy with your life? Have you taken place in this life? Tell me, what will you do and feel when you leave your millions and leave this world? Will you be happy then? After all, then, there will be no millions. Only you will remain and nothing else. And the whole process by which you earned or fraudulently sought these millions. You will take this with you, but you will leave millions. You can even transplant your heart 6 times. You can because you have millions, but you will still die, no matter what. So everyone should ask themselves such questions. My friends, your values have been deliberately substituted, and the system has done everything so that you do not know about your nature. And this is done everywhere, even where you are looking for God. Even there, the system deceives you. Even in churches, the system rules. It calls you slaves, it calls you sinners, it calls you unworthy, and so on and so forth. It intimidates you. There you will be told 20 times, be afraid, you must be afraid. And who creates fears? The Creator? No, my friends, the Creator does not create fears. He is love, He is purity, transparency, frankness, and openness. He is the greatest joy and goodness. He is perfection itself. He has no fears. Then why, when you seek who you are, you face fear? Who imposes this fear on you? The system, my friends, the system. The system intervenes there too. In principle, it possesses all aspects of human life. Exactly. And my friends, it is the quantum leap, the quantum transition that will destroy this system in the future. It will destroy it, yes. And you know, the destruction of this system is already underway, because every day the number of people who wake up from the sleep of the system, who slept in the system, they wake up and they do everything to get out of these delusions. And for such people, there are many helpers on this planet. There are many those who will take care of these people. You can ask, why then these caring helpers do not intervene in this system and generally destroy it? Well, my friends, so you let it be. It feeds on your energy. The system itself cannot generate energy, but it can receive this energy from you. It needs low vibration energy, the energy of your anger, envy, hatred, all of your fears. This is what the system needs. The system feeds on these states. And most of the people, probably 95% of the people on the planet, are just feeding the system. And it only lives because you feed it. Stop energizing it. You can. You are creators. You are the makers of life on this planet. You, exactly you. Stop doing this, and the system will disappear by itself. It will last as long as you feed it under the law of free will, the right to choose. And this is your choice to feed the system. Whether you know about it or not, you believe in it or not, you do it, which means the process is underway, the process is happening, you see? So when you stop doing this, and take the path of evolution, accomplishments, becoming a wonderful life, when you will no longer separate yourself from each other, when you will unite, when you will together create a wonderful world, a wonderful life on this planet, then the system will disappear. And the quantum transition prepares you for this. This is what is needed for this, my friends. So that you, who remained here to evolve after the quantum transition and the final quantum leap, could, by increasing your vibrations, adorn the life of the planet with your lives, so that you lead this planet along the correct path of evolution, so that the life flourishes on this planet and will be more improved. Yes, my friends, then spiritual beings will open to you both new mechanisms and new energy vehicles, which will move with the help of energy, etheric energy. New social achievements and conditions will be open to you. You will have to work less physically and more mentally and spiritually. You will create the beauty, evolutionary beauty of life. This is your future. And by the way, a very near future, friends. No matter how hard it is, and no matter how the system has won itself back, and now let's say it has a ball, it has a feast. Why? Because, as I told you, a huge number of people are in an aggressive state, in a state of fear, depression, hatred, envy, anger, and aggressiveness. Sometimes I really wonder how people who hold in their hands such sources as the Urantia book, A Course in Miracles, can be aggressive to other people. How? It seemed to me that, on the contrary, for people who read such books, everything inside should be different. And yet, you see, it's not so. I mean that the system uses everything, and even those people who take the path of evolution, spiritual evolution and spiritual development. And indeed, at the beginning of your path, you all really need an assistant, a teacher, someone who can help you at the beginning of your path, at the beginning of your formation, who will help you energetically, who will give you knowledge, who will open you an understanding about yourself, who will teach you to live correctly, to live in a state of happiness, joy and fulfillment. Therefore, you each need to choose a master at the beginning of your path. But it's not easy for you to do it. The system keeps in its sticks many people who already want to wake up. It imposes some thoughts on you. For example, well, of course, you have to pay money to go to courses. Well, it's a pity to pay money. What if it does not help you, if it does not work, if it won't work out for you? The system imposes such thoughts on you. My friends, if you are ready for learning, becoming, and fulfillment, spiritual beings will give you everything. But if you are not ready, there will be no money, no opportunities, no inner will, no inner state, nothing. This means that you are not ready yet for the processes of accomplishment. What determines your readiness? Your will and faith, aspiration and desire to change your life. This is what pushes you to accomplish. If this is weak in you, if you want to easily evolve spiritually, nothing will work. You are not ready. Why? Well, many of my students, especially those whom I refuse to teach, also don't understand this. They don't understand why I did not took them on the courses. Why? It's that I am so angry. Do I regret wasting something? No, I am very interested in your studies. But I often see that a person, having received these techniques, mechanisms, and capabilities, will not properly dispose of them. And I understand that I see this in this person, and if I still take him to the further courses and give him these techniques, I will also be responsible for his vices, for his vicious situations. After all, I see people, I see their souls, their thinking, their thoughts. And I see that a person wants to direct these mechanisms only for the earning of money, self-interest, and nothing more. I cannot give such people very strong techniques for managing life and reality. My friends, Hitler also received these mechanisms. He also knew about the sacred techniques. He also knew about how to rule the world, and he wanted to rule the world. And he managed something. And look how he managed to rule, what he accomplished on this planet. How many people died, how much suffering, how much horror, how much hunger, how much torment. And all just because he mastered these mechanisms. And how did it end? He himself became insane from all this. Therefore, my friends, I don't feel sorry for anything for you. Absolutely. I really want and I do everything, and I will work to make you all happy. But you may not be ready. And I will wait for you. I will wait for those whom I refused. I will wait for those who now need to rethink their inner state, those who are still asleep and do not understand that their mind is controlled by the matrix. But having suffered, and as a rule such people will suffer, they begin to understand through suffering that they are wrong. They begin to understand correctly the laws of the cosmos and the truth itself. That's when they wake up. And I will definitely lend a helping hand to such people. My friends, saying no to a person, not taking him to the courses, is not a sentence. No way. This means that the time for this person has not come yet, and the person just needs to work on himself. That's all, my friends. But I also send my energy to such people, and I also ask the Creator to help these people in their awakening. Yes, I send even more energy to such people. I send even more goodness, because I understand that they also want this awakening. But the matrix keeps their brains in its controlling state, and they don't understand what is happening to them and why I refused them. The time will come when they will understand and realize everything. My friends, what is the right way to survive this quantum leap, so as not only not to suffer, but to direct it towards improving and creating your life? You really need to learn to manage yourself. After all, the time has accelerated, and the quantum leap gives you the ability to bring your thoughts to life even faster. If this is so, and you yourself can already see that it is so, because as soon as you have thought something, sometimes several hours pass, and your thoughts are very quickly embodied. This suggests that thought began to work very quickly, and you need to learn how to control your thoughts. So, where do you need to start? Start with the understanding that you have a mental body, with the understanding that there is a mental space on this planet. But your mental body and mental space interact like nesting dolls. 7 nesting dolls interact with the astral, emotional plane, the etheric plane of your life. Therefore, these two structures need to be combined, and they are combined in you, since as soon as you think, you immediately feel the emotions. But that's not all. It turns out that these two planes interact with even higher levels of reality of this planet, with a spiritual state, with your 4 spiritual bodies, inside which there are the highest spiritual vibrations. How are they grown? What is the process of their formation? This also needs to be learned. And it does not take an hour to learn everything, friends. This takes time. You need to learn, you need to study, read books, and work on yourself. But today I want to give you at least a few tips and recommendations and energy practices that you can direct today, tomorrow, and each day after tomorrow to the process of your creation and the process of your development. So, we are learning right now to manage our thoughts. Make yourself comfortable. Take a comfortable state, a comfortable position. We will do this with musical accompaniment. This is only to relax you a little and bring you into a more comfortable state of feeling and thinking. My friends, I will guide you, you will do. The only request before our work, when I say stop, you need to learn to stop your thoughts. I will say, think thoughts. It does not matter what thoughts you think, good or bad. Now it does not matter at all. It is important to learn to stop thoughts. For many of you, this may be not easy, and it can be easy for others. Again, everything depends on your inner preparation. So, my friends, I say you do. No, I don't need music. I'll carry on my work anyway. This music is for you, more for you. Relax. Turn your hands like this. Put them palms up. Relax and trust me. If you do not trust me or you have condemnation, anger, hatred and the like, you can turn off this broadcast and go about your business. And who nevertheless trusts everything that I have spoken to you about today, sit back and let's practice. These practices are just for you. Let's start. Sit comfortably and listen to your inner state. Breathe in and breathe out with awareness. What does it mean? Be aware that you are breathing in and be aware that you are breathing out. Begin breathing consciously. By learning to breathe with awareness, you will also live with awareness. So breathe, deep breathe, deep exhalation, deep breathe in, deep breathe out. As you inhale and exhale, listen to the energy of your hands. Feel your hands from the inside. You are inside yourself. Do not get sprayed. Don't be distracted by anything. You listen to my voice and are inside yourself. You feel the energy in your hands. As you breathe in and out consciously, you feel the energy of your head, the energy of your torso, the energy of your legs. You feel you are energy. Deep conscious inhalation and deep conscious exhalation. The deepest state of calmness, the deepest inhalation, the deepest exhalation, inner calmness, silence, complete detachment from everything. You can close your eyes. It will be easier for you to listen to yourself. Deep breathe in, deep breathe out. Allow yourself to think. Think. Now we will learn how to consciously stop thoughts. Deep breathe in, deep breathe out. Deep breathe in, deep breathe out. Think, just think. It does not matter what thoughts, it does not matter at all. When I say stop, you seem to grab your thoughts with your fist. Stop with an effort of will. Just stop them. As if pressing the brake, stopping the car abruptly. Then also abruptly stop your thoughts. Sharp. Think, think. Not now. I will tell you when. Stop. No thoughts. Just nothing. Silence and calm. The head is empty. There are no thoughts. Think thoughts again. Think different thoughts. Stop. I see how difficult it is for you. Relax, relax, friends. Okay, think again. You see, many of you understand how difficult it is to stop thoughts. This is an indicator of how much the ego is controlling you. The ego is the system. It wedges itself into your mind. It always makes you think something. Realize that these are not your thoughts. It is the system that creates these thoughts for you. This is not yours. Think thoughts. Think. Stop. Continue to think thoughts. Each of you had a state when you seem to think about something, but you do not think about anything specifically. You all had this state. It was a state of thoughtlessness, but awareness of everything that was happening. This is the state you need to learn. You need to learn to live in this state. Then, the system will not influence and impact you so much. The ego will no longer affect your mental field in the same way, because it is with thoughts, destructive thoughts, that the ego, the system, feeds. Okay, my friends, okay. Relax. Now, allow yourself to think only constructive thoughts. Begin to discern thoughts. If you notice that the thought that has arisen creates an uncomfortable state in you for some reason, find the strength in yourself to stop these thoughts. Think, Think only constructive thoughts and observe yourself. Feel your inner state. Good friends, that's enough. Now relax. Relax and listen further. For you to go through the quantum leap, of course, you need to understand what you need to do, what you need to fulfill, how you need to change your life for everything to be blissful for you. And in principle, these requirements are also my requirements about my students, when people come to me to study. And you also very often during the selection for courses at the interview ask me, what qualities do we need to have, and in general, what do I need to be accepted into your courses? My friends, my work with humanity is not only to guide you through the quantum process and give you a more perfect life and state and evolution, but also your task is to achieve a more perfect spiritual state of development. What does this in turn mean? This is the opening of your nature. This is the opening of yourself, not something that you do not have, but namely yourself. And here are my, shall we say, prescriptions for you to enroll in my courses and to learn everything that I give my students, and the discovery of superpowers, super abilities, and good health, and the solving of your everyday situations, your social life, well, almost all life issues, everything that is in your life, you need a lot. First of all, you need to be mentally prepared for this process. You need to ask yourself the questions: what do you want from life? What are your goals? And how much do you correspond to this? Again, you need to dive into yourself and ask yourself how honest you are with yourself. Again, asking yourself the question, are you ready to work on yourself? Are you ready to be creative in this world? How much good is in you and how much evil is in you? This is also very serious, since when aggressive, angry people come, who then, well, you know what they do next. My friends, such people are not ready for this studying. That is, they should first realize their evil, their hatred, their envy, their greed and avarice, and change this, and only then start developing themselves, since they will have to discover their own nature. But if a person is in such an aggressive or depressed state, he cannot open his nature. It is completely closed from him. It is kept by the system, under the control of the system of the matrix, and such a person will not take anything useful in these courses. He will not hear, and nothing will work for him, because there is no response inside him. He will not even be able to enter into resonance with me, to receive my energy. Therefore, friends, of course, to study and pass the quantum leap with dignity, you need to start working on yourself right now. You need to understand all your inner vices, to abandon them yourself. Deliberately refuse. Just refuse it and develop new inner states of love, fearlessness, and understanding. What can help you with this? First of all, books and work on yourself. I always recommend books for you, and on our website under the heading Knowledge there are a lot of recommended books. This is the book Conversations with God, this is the Urantia book, this is A Course in Miracles, this is Initiation by Elizabeth H. A lot of books, friends. There are a lot of books that will reveal the correct state inside you. This will be your preparation for studying with me. Why? Because you should at least know the basics, at least have an understanding, an idea. Yes, the arranger book may be a little early for you, except for chapter 4. You can read the first chapter in the arranger book and work with it. It is necessary not only to read it, but to work with it, to study. But you can understand other chapters only when your mind, your intellect is spiritualized. Then, after reading a certain line, you will understand what is meant when this line was written and when this information was transmitted to. Because the Ranger book is not an ordinary book, it's not a simple source of knowledge on earth, and you must learn to understand it. My friends, for you to pass the quantum leap, you need to raise your vibrations. This is the main thing, just the foundation. Tell me, when you are kind, when you are merciful, when you have forgotten what resentment is, when you are generous with other people, when you are calm, when everything suits you, when you accept everything as it is and enjoy the way everything is, this is high vibrations, right? There are high vibrations. That's the kind of person who will easily pass the quantum leap, blessedly pass, my friends. And also, such a person will definitely lead a healthy lifestyle. It is a healthy lifestyle that will allow a person to have healthy thinking, healthy organs, a healthy life, with health and prosperity. Yes, friends, unfortunately, there are few healthy people now. Therefore, this is the first thing we correct in our courses, your health. How can a sick person be spiritually developed and generally developed if he is sick? He is no longer developed if he is sick, and the disease itself is an indicator of his undeveloped state. It is true, friends. So the quantum leap requires from you new high vibrations that are born in you in love, understanding, and compassion. And now is the next practice, meditation. I see the questions in your minds. We will ask questions today. My friends, let us still practice with you today. You ask me a lot of questions during the broadcast. But today I want to work as much as possible with the audience which is somewhere around the world and may not be quite prepared. I still want to bring you as much benefit as possible with these activities. So let's do some practice. To raise your vibration, what do you need? First, friends, as I told you before, you need to be honest. Your honesty, your truthfulness, is when you are truthful to yourself and tell yourself the truth, who you really are inside. If you see that you have pluses and minuses, and good and evil, but still strive for the knowledge of good, you are our future students. If nevertheless anger, envy, hatred, and pride take possession of you, this is also okay, but it means that your time has not come yet. You just have to go through certain life lessons. But if you still watch these broadcasts, despite your condemnation, your discontent, despite all this, after a certain time you will also come to spiritual development. Maybe you will not meet me, maybe I am not your teacher, but you will meet another person who will also help you, but only when you are ready for this. So, your truthfulness and honesty allow you to tell yourself what percentage of you are good and what percentage of your anger or fears. And my friends, if after all there is more anger or fears, let's not put it on the back burner right now. And just now we will reject it. So right now, dive into yourself and ask yourself a question. Why is there one or another state in you? For example, resentment, greed, envy, discontent. What is causing this state within you? What kind of fear? Let's go. We turn on the music and start working. You are honest with yourself, absolutely honest. And I will work with you, with my energy. Ask yourself questions. What is more in you? And while monitoring some of your internal states that are not good, for example, aggressive, dig deeper and ask the following question. What kind of fear creates this within you? This is self-improvement work. What kind of fear? What are you afraid of? After all, if you have some kind of unpleasant state, aggression, anger, envy, greed, depression, there is definitely a fear that creates it. You are afraid of missing something, you are afraid of not doing something, you are afraid of being unrecognized. In general, you are afraid of something. Be honest about what you are afraid of. Once you realize it, reject it immediately. Tell yourself, this is not my fear. This fear is imposed on me by the system. And feel how easy it will be. Let's work in. You feel inner calmness, honesty with yourself, honesty, frankness. What am I afraid of? What creates it in me? What kind of fear? Realize and immediately refuse it. Say, this is not my fear. I did not create this fear for myself. That's not mine. Reject. The system needs you to accept it as your own, so that you accept all your destructive thoughts as your own, all your fears as your own. But they are not yours. You are eternal life, eternal reality. You are the light of this world. You are greatness. You are what was, is, and will be forever. This is who you are. You are an omnipresent and omnipotent energy. This is your nature. You are not fears, no. The system has fears. These fears are all imposing on you. Work on yourselves. Practice. Dive inside yourself and realize everything. It will be easier for you right away. Such inner ease will come. Very good. Calm. In the inner state of silence, calmness, self-control. Everything is good, friends. Everything is good. Everything will pass, and that too. Everything will be fine. Believe in the best, always in the best. All roads lead to paradise. Everything that happens is always for the best. So it is, friends. Accept everything that happens. Right now, if something clings, some situation clings to you, say to yourself, well, if this happened to me, then this situation teaches me something. Or maybe it teaches me to be stronger, sturdier, more confident in myself. Maybe exactly this situation led me to develop and work on myself. Thanks to this situation, it helped me. And immediately this situation will be resolved. This situation has a purpose. Your goal is evolution. Very well, friends. And now, stop thinking about problems. Renounce everything. Absolutely everything. Even from yourself. Even from those diseases that you have, problems, difficulties, things, events, from everything. Give up everything. Do it consciously. Put everything aside, all to the side. There is only you and your breath. There is the light of your life. This is all there is. There is nothing else. You, as energy, are omnipresent and omnipotent. You are in a state of silence and tranquility and peace, in a state of serenity, in a state of harmony. No matter what, you feel now very, very good. I convey to you my energy of calmness, kindness, warmth, mercy, understanding, acceptance of everyone. I wish you much, much love, especially aggressive people, especially them I wish as much good as possible. After all, a person who doesn't have love needs it most of all. And I am sending you this love. May my love open your souls, your hearts to you. May I be as useful to you as possible and bring you the most benefit in your formation and your evolution. I wish love and joy to all of you, warmth, mercy, understanding, acceptance to all, inner lightness, purity, transparency, openness, frankness. I wish you all the purest and greatest. And I direct this force, this energy into your souls. It pacifies you. It consoles you. It fills you. You are pleased and comfortable. Let this force accompany you through life. Grow up, get younger, get well, get rich, rejoice, rejoice in the breeze, rejoice in the singing of birds, the sound of the sea, the ocean. Enjoy life. After all, you are this life. Good, friends. Very good. Very good. Well, you see, it works out. It is not for nothing that there is such a saying, everything is in our head. Yes, absolutely everything. And it is not in vain that there is another saying, as we think, so we live. So let's learn to think correctly, think creatively, think good. Many of you ask me, what else do we need? What do we need to get to your courses? What exactly? Well, perhaps the most important thing, at least partially, is to give up anger and envy and hatred. At least partially. After all, a spiritual person is a person filled with love, a kind person. An evil person cannot be spiritual. It is impossible, in no way impossible. And when I look at your photos before the interview, I look at your inner state, how much good or evil you have. And if all the same, the good outweighs, I'll take you on course. If still there is a lot of envy, hatred and anger, I understand that you need time to prepare for this studying, to develop goodness. How can you nurture goodness? Through problems, difficulties and unfortunately suffering. Yes, I am very sorry that this is how your understanding of kindness and mercy opens up. I am also very sorry, and I also would not want this for you, because there is another way, an easier way. But if this is so, I accept both your position and your choice. It means it should be so. But when the time comes, and you are ready to hear me, and are ready to listen to knowledge, I will gladly share it with you. My friends, I want to pay more attention to one more aspect. During the practice, when I was working with you, such information came to me, so that I would share with you the knowledge that I will now reveal to you. Many of you have a question. Where did this matrix come from? I know that many of you now have this question, where did it come from? You think, okay, it exists now, we feed it, we agree, we energize it. But originally, who created it here on this planet? I can say the roots of the problem lie in ancient times and centuries. It began then. The matrix began to form at a time when the fallen gods who were to develop this planet became fallen on this planet. And as soon as they proclaimed the laws of Lucifer, divide and conquer, humanity, which was still in the mind of the savage, because people were still created from animals, and their genetics also corresponds to animals. 98% of your genome is the genome of a monkey, an animal. And in this animal state, when the law divide and conquer was proclaimed, such things began on this planet, awful things. That is, completely animal people got out of control. And these fallen gods were not happy about what they had created here, what they have done, and that they here proclaimed such laws and led humanity along the wrong path. But they lacked the will and awareness to admit it. Until now, many of them cannot admit their fall. Although there are those who admit their mistakes and correct their mistakes. And it was then that they decided to create this system. Since they were more developed and could control the energies of the planet and the energies of human consciousness, they could not control everything at once, but they were able to create an energy informational program field to which they connected the mind of every person living then. And thus, as soon as a new child was born, he immediately connected to this matrix, to this program, a program for controlling human minds. This program included programs that were supposed to keep the ancient humans in fear, because it was fear that could control people at that time. In terms of their inner state, they were still not quite human, but still animals. That is, spiritually undeveloped, unconscious, and generally not developed. Therefore, this system was created as a program for controlling humanity. Yes, these fallen gods left this planet long ago. You will ask, who is managing the system now? Well, the first thing, their descendants remained. Genetic descendants. This is the first. And the second, you yourself continue being born and reincarnate again, renewing the matrix programs in yourself. And thus you continue to feed it. Do you understand now? I think you understand. And if it's not completely clear to you, I open more knowledge and practice to you in training. Now I'm telling you only so that you are at least a little aware of this whole complex process. And I think that for many I have not opened a secret, absolutely. You all know the film The Matrix, and there really are many secrets and mysteries open to you. Many of you read books by various psychiatrists, psychologists, various other spiritual teachers, and you understand that what I am telling you now has long been known on this planet. But my task is to do everything that the matrix has left you, so that you break free from the influence of the collective unconscious, where you sleep and do not understand either yourself or your life. This is the most important factor right now. This is what is needed for you to go through the quantum leap, so that you continue to live, evolve, create, and prosper in the new world. There will be a new world, friends. Very soon there will be a new world, a new society of conscious and developed people. My friends, our broadcast has come to an end. I thought only an hour had passed, but already much more. Somehow, I cannot finish my work with you early. Well, then it was necessary. This means that you needed everything that was told and given to you today. But I want to finish my work with you with practice. I want to feel you again, even more intensely, even more strongly with my energy of life, light, and eternity. And may the force that I now direct into your souls, into your hearts, into your minds and intellects, open you like a lotus in the sun, opening with its thousands petals. And let this flower bloom in your souls and in your minds, and lead all of you to a wonderfully creative life. I will gladly share with you. I am always ready to share the last drop of everything that I have, and may it benefit you. Take a comfortable position, open your hands, and you can put them like this. When we place our hands like this, we pour out streams of energy, because there are very strong active points on the palms, which pour out streams of energy. When you do that, you receive the energy. I give it to you, and you receive this energy for complete recovery. Now, this energy will not only restore your mental state, but also your physical body, and many, many people who will now be able to enter into resonance with me, and this is only your task. You will be able to get relief. Even your pains will also pass. Let's start. Relax, close your eyes and listen to yourself, to your inner state. Breathe my energy. Absorb my power. Feel yourself. and give it to other people. Remember, before you take, you must give. Having received this energy, make gifts to other people, helping others with this energy. I send you love and joy, warmth, bliss, calmness, fullness, fearlessness, will, faith, and strength for all epochs and centuries. To all mankind, to the whole world, I fill the whole world with light, joy, and love. Especially those people who need this energy the most, especially those who are jealous, who are tormented in suffering, who are tormented by greed, hatred, and resentment. I send the light to you, friends. I fill you with this energy as much as possible. Let it open your souls and help you forgive each other, accept situations, and wake up from sleep. Most of this energy is for you, for those who feel very hard and bad. We complete our practice, fix the internal state, breathe in and out, and come out of the practice. Our streaming has come to an end. Practice, read books, work on yourself, stop your thoughts, and learn to live by yourself. Learn to live by your nature. Understand correctly the world, everything that happens. Before you say something or make any conclusion, ask yourself, I think so because I'm afraid of something, or does my soul say so? Always notice who speaks within you, your soul or your ego. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you all for your good deeds, for bringing light and joy to other people. Thank you for learning to forgive. Thank you for your existence. You are the children of the Creator, God, the higher mind. Thank you for your lives. You are the light of this world. Up to new meetings, my friends. Goodbye.